FM. We're also streaming from that SuperTalk app and on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. And don't forget about watching us, which you can do on your computer or your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. We talked about my first fear in life, which was stand-up comedy. I figured we'd back that up with my second fear, which is singing a cappella. So joining us today is Dr. Daniel Stevens. He's the head of Department of Music at MSU, as well as Dr. Phillip Stockton. And they are with the MSU's Trebulldawgs, who have qualified for a national a cappella semifinal. And I think this is really cool. So welcome to you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. I don't know which one to start with. Maybe Dr. Stevens. Tell us a little bit about, and I think for one, I've got a lot of friends who have children heavily involved in show choir, and we was just having this conversation the other week talking about, can you go to the next level with those type of skills? Can kids, find scholarships? And then up pops this whole conversation about being able to sing in a cappella groups or like music being an option. And it was kind of new news to some parents. So talk about the Department of Music, Dr. Stevens, and these opportunities for students.
Absolutely. It's a really exciting time in Mississippi State right now. We just opened, just 2 years ago, a brand new $21 million facility for music. It really is a place that's moving forward by leaps and bounds. We have a number of additional new faculty in the music program. We've seen some new scholarships in the department for students, and vocal music, choral music is just one of those wonderful ways that we give opportunities to serve. It really is a service and talent kind of award, a way that these students contribute back to their community. And so Dr. Stockton here, as Associate Director of Choral Activities, has so many wonderful things to share about specifically the a cappella group kind of our theme today, and then I can talk a little bit more about the department too.
Absolutely. So give us a little idea about a cappella at a collegiate level. I mean, for many, I don't know if I knew that you could compete that way, and I think this is awesome. More parents need to know and more students need to know that there are opportunities for this.
Oh, absolutely. This whole a cappella movement that has gotten really popular in the last, several years. I think kind of Pitch Perfect kind of kicked this off to the wider audience. So the group Trebulldawgs here at Mississippi State is kind of unique in that they are completely student-led. So they have their own officers within the group. They pick their own music. They program their own music. Sometimes they write their own arrangements, and they learn and perform. And so I'm actually their faculty advisor for the last couple of years. And so I get to have a kind of a front row seat to this process, but we are very excited and very proud of them for this wonderful accomplishment they have to compete this weekend.
So how did they earn this? Obviously there had to be some local or regional kind of competitions to move them on into semifinals, and then what's possible to come when they do really well this weekend?
Yes. So they a few weeks ago, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head when they competed, but they competed at Pearl River Community College, and so that was the kind of their first round of competition. And so as they go to Durham, North Carolina this week, so that's that next level, that quarterfinal, and then after that they would be at the Lincoln Center in New York for the finals.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
Yep.
And I think we skipped over it, Dr. Stockton. Explain a cappella. I mean, it's just no music. I think it's a little more complicated than that, but kind of explain what it is.
Yeah, well, yes and no. So, a cappella music goes back for a very, very long time. But in this case, the choir has vocals like you would expect, that singing text and that sort of thing. But they also are using their voices to create the different sounds of instruments. So you'll always pretty much have a person that's a beatboxer that's supposed to simulate the percussion or a drum set per se, and then you usually have a bass or a bass singer, a low voice that is creating kind of that bass line. And a lot of times the other voices fill in with what we call nonsense syllables or kind of vocables that are creating this overall sound to make their voices sound like really a full band plus the voices.
Yeah, that sounds really hard and terrifying.
Yes, it is.
Not even going to lie on that. Now, Dr. Stevens, if we have a student who is interested in a music degree, do they have to be able to sing a cappella to get into state?
All music programs have an audition process that is really important to be able to kind of vet where their talent is relative to their life goals and dreams. If they want to be a music educator, if they want to be a performer, if they want to go into music and business or music and technology, audio production, all of those are options here at Mississippi State. But that first step is, applying to the university, and then they come and they audition for the faculty on an instrument or on a voice part to see where their fit may be best for a career trajectory. And so we assess those things and try to give a very honest assessment to say, you would be destined for the professional stage someday full-time, or, we really see you being great for a K-12 classroom, or we think you have these skills to contribute to music and we want to fulfill that passion, but maybe needs to be in a recording studio or as a working music and business or having a music store or a shop someday. So there's so many different directions. There's so many students that head into worship ministries or go into graduate studies to eventually become, professors of music. So there's a lot of different angles and different pathways that can accomplish the goals for these students.
Well, and I think that's good for parents to hear too, because I think sometimes when they hear, I just want an art degree or want a music degree or something of that nature, parents get nervous about, not everybody makes it to the stage and is famous, but there's so many other thriving careers that can be behind the scenes or just in different directions. It's not always on the stage related, correct?
Absolutely. And having that bachelor's degree in music opens up a whole nother skill set. When we look at the STEM fields, we even realize, a lot of times when they create these teams that are working on high level scientific projects, they need a creative person on their team to be able to think outside the box and to be able to shape and mold a creative study, or to be able to bring success to that team for workforce development. So it's amazing when you just think about music. You think, what is the prospect for someone to be full-time as a performer? Well, that's highly competitive and very difficult, but there are so many different pathways that come out of music that create this lifelong joy for the art form, but allow people to contribute back to society in a unique way.
So, Dr. Stockton, we're talking about the Acapella group, but are there other choirs or singing groups within the department that are also competitive, or is this one just really unique there? Also, the best name ever, Trebulldawgs. I hope y'all have T-shirts.
Absolutely, yes. So we actually have a total of 5 choirs at Mississippi State, of course, Trebulldawgs that we're discussing. And then we have 2 what we call mixed ensembles, so treble and tenor bass voices. And then we have a tenor bass group and a treble group. So there's a total of 5. Trebulldawgs is the only competitive choir. Most of the time at the collegiate level, choirs are thought more of artistic than necessarily competitive like this. But there are some options for that as well. There's some competitions in Europe that are possibly on the horizon for us. So yes and no.
Well, you said that it's growing in terms of the opportunities for acapella. Is that good news for those listening? I mean, I feel like show choir grows leaps and bounds every year with interest in, people taking a look at it, or at least maybe I'm just entering that world with a middle schooler for the first time and recognizing it like I had never before. But it feels like there's all this great talent that you would love to see be able to continue once they leave grade school.
Oh, absolutely. And we're seeing it from the grassroots area as well. Even across the state of Mississippi, they're thriving a cappella programs that are part of choral programs. Sometimes they have a show choir, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the a cappella group will take the place of a show choir. And so you're seeing that students are getting that holistic music education experience where they're getting popular music, but also getting that traditional music experience that we think is really important for their education.
Well, I think it's really cool. I would never do it, but I think it's really, or couldn't do it, let me put it that way.
Look, we always need people in the audience, so we're thankful for that as well.
You know what? That was a great response. I can feel my seat in the audience where to watch and enjoy. And is there any way to do that? Is there any way to go back and watch the Trebulldawgs and some of their performances, or watch this weekend, or keep up with them as they continue on their competitive journey?
We always want to encourage our friends out there and around the state to plug in with our website. We're at music.msstate.edu, where we list all of our wonderful events, everything from opera to all of our choirs, our orchestras, our bands, Famous Maroon Band, all of their incredible concert performances as well. And so we're going to be tracking carefully our Trebulldawgs and posting on social media, their successes. We're hoping we're going to cheer them on to finals. And so there's several ways you can stay in contact with us.
All righty. If we want more information, too, about the Department of Music, Dr. Stevens, how do we do that?
It's all about the website. We're regularly updating information there, and there are places where students can click to learn about the audition process and what it means to be a music major at Mississippi State. And we're just excited to get to know the community, because we always want to help students find success and wherever they need to ultimately end up. But we think Mississippi State's a special place.
All righty. Well, thank you both for your time. Congratulations again on the Trebulldawgs. We'll be watching. I'll be watching to see how they do this weekend and sending them all the luck. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All righty. You guys stick with us. We got more for